also going to be chewing some gum. Today I have this Trident. I can never remember what it's called. Tropical Twist. Okay, so I have my iPad right here, and I am reading these posts off of an AITA group on Facebook, not from Reddit. I find these ones are more interesting to me. Alright, so let's start with the first one that I have saved, which is AITA, 32 years old, for being angry at my significant other, 40, for disappearing for 5 hours after work last Saturday. He's usually home at 18:30-ish. Okay, what is 18:30? 6:30 p.m. and has always notified me if expected after 1900, so after 7. So I know he's okay. So 8 o'clock p.m. rolls around and I start to low-key worry, then call his phone to no answer. My calls continue to go unanswered, so at 2100, 9 o'clock, I call his sister asking if she's heard from him. Then his daughter, and they had both not heard from him. I almost reported him missing. Then at 2300, 8 plus 3, 11, he killed one of my calls and texted, quote, driving. I was so relieved. My gosh, he gets in close to 12 a.m. and goes straight to the spare room and didn't say a word. This Saturday, last night, he didn't come home at all. I knew he was at a work Christmas party, and maybe drank, so stayed at his sister's. I hit her up and she confirmed that he had slept over, and she had just gotten back from dropping him at the airport to fly to a town an hour away by plane. She was floored that I was in the dark, and he disclosed that he was going to visit a friend. I guess disclosed to the sister. was selling good priced kid bed on Marketplace. And when I went and looked at them, I saw they had bedbug evidence. So I told the people and made it clear to them that I was not judging them. And bedbugs do not indicate unsanitary living conditions. Even I've had them before. But that they should probably just trash the furniture and remove the post. I see they lowered the price on Marketplace instead of removing the post, so I made it known that I looked at this furniture and it had bedbugs, with the disclosure that bedbugs are not from being dirty, unsanitary living spaces. They did not like that and said so many different things about me and my kids from what they could see on my profile, I guess. Am I the a-hole? Here's the thing. If you are wrong about the bedbugs, then you're an a-hole. If you are right, then you are absolutely not an a-hole. You are doing somebody a huge favor. So that's the thing, like, I really need to know were there bedbugs or not. If we assume that it really was a bed that had been infested with bedbugs, then the people who were selling it had a lot of nerve to sell it. That is disgusting, okay? Absolutely vile. And once you bring in bedbugs, your entire house will become infested. And it will be a huge expense to get that taken care of. So that's what I think of that. Alright, let's see. I personally do not think you're the a-hole. You probably saved another family from having to spit out hundreds for treating this issue. Sometimes meddling is the right thing to do. Not the a-hole. Someone who knowingly sells bug-infested or contaminated items is an a-hole. This post just creeped me out. I'm looking for a new sectional at the moment. I almost bought one from Marketplace a few months ago, so glad I didn't follow through with that. Alright, so I guess some people are saying, whoa, you gotta look out for this. You gotta be careful. Personally, I would never purchase a used mattress. That's just me. I mean, I guess people do it if they have to, right? If you just don't have enough at the moment to buy a brand new mattress, you might buy a used one. But just think about all the disgusting things that go on in beds. This was like a kid's bed. Kids pee in their bed and stuff and like throw up in their bed, and you can't get that stuff out. It's in there. Not to mention bedbugs, so just be careful. Be careful. It is no joke. Bedbugs are not funny. My husband has an adult son who is in prison for a heinous crime. The son will be an old man before he can become eligible for parole. His son calls a lot, and my husband puts money in his account weekly and quarterly. Husband pays for an inmate package of clothing and other items. Son lays guilt trips on my husband. Husband keeps sending money. I don't say anything. Husband and I went to a family get-together today, and grandson, son of the one in prison, his son. Yes, he did a heinous crime. I don't know what it was. But these are the expenses that people have in jail. What are you gonna do? And the $200 for paying off a dope dealer. I mean, that's terrible. But imagine what's gonna happen to him if he doesn't pay off the dope dealer. I don't know. I know it's enabling. I know. My opinion could be totally off here. Let me see what other people say. If I were the father of that son, I wouldn't want to worry about what was happening to him in prison. I really wouldn't. Alright, so you're not the a-hole. That's awful. He needs to stop enabling the son. Not the a-hole, but it's time to start having conversations. Keep in mind that your husband feels responsible for his son's mistakes. He raised him, so it feels like a failure. This makes me sad for your husband. I have no idea how I would be if one of my kids was in prison. I think it's easy to say they're on their own at that point, and maybe for me it would depend on their crime, but that's his son. And unless he's spending your joint money or bill money, I don't know that you really have a say. If it's really a big issue to you, maybe address it by splitting your accounts or putting him on a prison budget. You are not the a-hole for disagreeing with his actions. And while I don't think he's doing his son any favors at all, I don't know if I think he's the a-hole either, right? Okay. AITA for acting too dramatic. My boyfriend and I decided to go to Costco tonight. I had class all day and drove immediately to his house after class so we can go together. I didn't eat anything since this morning. Before we left, he ate. We got to Costco around 7 p.m. and we mainly just bought stuff for his house. He already had about $200 worth of food in his cart. When we went towards the back of the store, I noticed that there were still $5 rotisserie chickens available. I got so excited because I thought they would be all sold out by now. I told him that there were rotisserie chickens, and he responded with, "I've already ate." I told him that I know, but I'm hungry, and that we could make some salads with the chicken. He then said, quote, "There's food at the house, and I don't feel like getting stuff for the salad." Of course, I got a little mad, and I did not talk to him on the way home. We got to his house, immediately got in my own car, and drove to my house without saying anything. He called me and realized that I was mad and asked me what color were the sunglasses that I want because he's about to order them. I've been wanting these $700 Chanel sunglasses and have been hinting to him the past few weeks that I want it for Christmas. He keeps saying that he'll think about it, but then all of a sudden he's going to order them when I'm mad at him. I told him that I don't want the sunglasses anymore. she's hungry, she's a grown adult. What do you want to eat, miss? Whatever. Like, what do you want to eat? Do you want to eat the rotisserie chicken? Do you want to eat it straight up? If not, you want to put it on a salad. Get the stuff. Like, just tell him how you feel at the moment. Yes, he doesn't get it. He really doesn't. But sometimes people are just not that much in tune with each other. You know, it happens and it's not that serious. If he's done things like, wait, what did it say here? Like she said last year she got mad and he ordered her an expensive wallet. Well, what did she get mad about last year? Like, was it something more serious than this? And should he buy her $700 sunglasses to make up for this? I mean, that's a bit steep. But he's basically saying, hey, I guess I screwed up. So, you know, I want to make you happy. I don't think it's that serious. I really don't think it's that serious. But I would be mad too, in the moment. But I would say something on the spot. I would, you know, if I said, hey, they have these rotisserie chickens, and my partner said, I already ate. I'd be like, well, I'm hungry. I didn't eat anything yet. I'm getting the chicken. You know, that's it. Let's see what other people said. You could have just bought the chicken yourself. You're not a kid, and you could have grabbed the chicken yourself and taken it to checkout. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's about the money. She said he had $200 worth of groceries. It wasn't that it cost $5. He's just saying he doesn't want to get, you know, stuff for salad. That was the main point that he was trying to make. Yes, you are. You are a passive-aggressive a-hole. You couldn't just say, yo, I am hungry and I'm getting a effing chicken to eat myself. Yeah, like, that's what I would have said. If I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat, and I don't care who has already eaten. And then you decide to stop talking to him because you didn't stand up for yourself. You sound exhausting AF. A little bit. I feel like there's missing context. If OP, original poster, doesn't have their own membership, they legit cannot buy the chicken. Yeah, that ain't it. And running straight there to go shopping from his place, then being denied a $5 chicken when you're saying you're hungry. Alright, let's do one more. Would I be the a-hole if I make my 14-year-old face the future he's obsessed with? I will keep this super short. My 14-year-old has become obsessed with gang culture. He's the kind of boy who still comes to cuddle with mommy when the thunder is too loud, yet considers himself a thug, uses the jumping back in. Thoughts? Okay. Is she the a-hole? I would definitely not say she would be an a-hole regardless. This is not an a-hole situation. This is a huge tragedy, and I understand this mother. She should be very afraid. And I do think he should go to the funeral. He should see what it's like. He should see the reality that his 14-year-old close friend was killed, and how much that hurt the family of that kid. He should go and he should see everyone crying. I mean, I'm not saying that he should be like traumatized, tremendously, but he should see, what a funeral is like. Like, do I think he should go and see the, the viewing of the body? Not necessarily, like, that might be a bit much. But I don't know, really. But yeah, bring him to the funeral. Really talk about it with him. I mean, I know that sounds really, like, simple. Oh, talk to him, sit down and talk. Like, as if she probably hasn't already tried that. But yeah, I would be very